Hello, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. I hope you're doing well today and getting some good trades. Today was a once in a blue moon trading day, a day that you get maybe once or twice a year when both the technicals and fundamentals are strongly aligned, moving in the direction of an unexpected announcement or unexpected fundamental activity in the marketplace. And we got that today when the European Central Bank came out and reduced their overnight cash rate to 0.05%. This sent the euro down way beyond some levels that many had expected in the marketplace, a move of 235 pips down from right about that 131.50 high overnight down to the 129.20 mark. We've taken a little bit of a bounce up from that. So in today's video, I want to briefly go over what my expectations are, where are we looking from an intraday perspective to get in on this trade, because I still think there's a lot of momentum to the downside. Part of that is due to institutional Forex option players who bought about a week ago 128.50 puts. Now they're well into the money now, but with a 128.50 put another month to go, there's the high probability of possibly seeing the euro dollar push down to the 128.50 area within the next month or so, and it could be probably sooner than that. So let's take a look at what's going on in the marketplace, where I think we're going to go from this point forward. Will we get a rebound? Possibly, but don't be the first one thinking you're going to get a rebound. Now today, in my trade room, I did trade this down, didn't catch it the whole way, actually caught the dollar Swiss because I didn't think we were going to get this push. I had been expecting some weakness in the Swissy due to the Swiss National Bank protecting the 120 floor on the Euro Swiss. Let's talk about this a little bit more in detail. We've been in this range of about 40, 50, 60 pips in the euro dollar. So really wasn't looking for a lot. I thought, okay, we'll get a little bit of a push below that, but the market made a strong push down, took a little bit of a bounce, and this I caught off of the 130 floor, picked up a few pips back to 30.20 area to the upside, then it rolled over and caught some pips back to the downside. Now I'm looking for anything that would suggest divergence here, anything that would suggest an upward move back in the euro dollar. We might get that, but as we go into the Asian session tonight, there's a likelihood that we could see some Asian players continue pushing. We have real money accounts and institutional accounts pushing down. They're heavy short the euro, and this was the impetus to push the euro dollar lower. So as an intraday trader, knowing that the potential is to the downside, I want to sell a rally and ride it further down. So what I'm looking for right now is a possible move back to the 23.6, given last night's high to today's low, a move back to about 129.75. The standard profit taking sitting back at 130. I think there's a possibility the 130 might get tested. May not be overnight, but over the next coming days, I think the 130 will get tested because it is a psychological level. Usually, in a falling knife situation like we had with the euro dollar, usually at levels going to get tested. So eventual pushback towards that 130 is expected. I'll be looking for some divergence. From a weekly perspective, we can see that we broke the 130, pushed pretty strong through that, and there are levels due to previous lows back here sitting at 128 and 127.45. Nothing in the way of the Traders Dynamic Index to suggest anything otherwise of going down further. Looking at the monthly perspective, I found this quite interesting, that we're coming into the 618 fib retracement level. Now, sometimes we'll get a bounce off of that, sometimes we'll get a push on down. So in this case, that 618 retrace comes in at 127.88. Not too far off of that level I was talking about here at the 128 to 127.45, about this low area here. So the possibility to see this come on down. This is a weekly chart, it's a monthly chart. We may not get there over the next day or so, but there's the probability of us getting to that point. So as an intraday trader, again, I'm going to be looking for anything that would suggest a rally back up. There's the possibility that if the euro can't come down and break below 129, that's the next psychological level. If we can't do that, then we look for a bounce back up. Don't go lower, it's going to go higher. So if we look for this push down from 29.40 into 129 and it stubbornly sits there at 129, most likely we'll see a push back up to 29.50, possibly back to 130. I'm looking to sell the rallies. There's the possibility of seeing other currencies make strong movements when you have like the euro dollar making a strong move. The best one of the bunch is the dollar Swiss. The euro makes a move, the dollar Swiss makes the opposite move. And so with the euro coming down today, we clearly saw a real strong move up in the dollar Swiss today. Now, based upon the Swiss National Bank wanting the Swiss franc to be weak, I've been long the dollar Swiss over the past week. And folks in my trade room know that. I had a 91.50 from last week I was holding. Then this past few days, I've noticed that we've had these lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So I had stepped in with a buy stop at 91.90, and I got this guy moving up, and it was a great trade. I basically looked for from that swing high to this swing low. I was looking for the market to get up somewhere right around that 92.65 area. I was really looking for it to possibly just come in right in this 127.2, 141. Well, it blew right through those and an immediate move to the upside. And so I was already at the 92.50 area, taking some partial closes. The market fell back a little bit here, and I got stopped down at the 92.50. A great trade to the upside, understanding the fundamental concept of the Swiss National Bank wanting to protect that 124, and the Euro Swiss had gotten down to 120.50. I've been looking for that Euro Swiss to push back up towards 121 and possibly up higher back toward that 122 area. And looking at the weekly chart, I think there's a probability of seeing the dollar Swiss push up between 93.80 and 94.20. And you can see from that extreme high to extreme low, the 618 sits right in there at the 9400 level. So these are things I'm going to be looking for. Again, looking for the dollar Swiss to push up higher given the Swiss National Bank's leaning to a weaker Swiss franc. And then on the euro dollar, looking to sell rallies as you have option players holding for the potential move down to the 128.50 area. Well, this is Dean Malone with Compass FX. I hope some of this information will help you in your trading. Make it a great day, and hopefully we'll have another day just like this not too far from now. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.